Oh, and you can also go live.
Yeah, I'm just gonna share it now to Facebook.
Lorene, where are you reaching out from?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, very cool. I have a mentor from there, Columbus, Ohio, real estate mentor. How's the temperature there?
Inside the house, it's very comfortable. It's dark here, so it was raining a little bit ago.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is it fall colors there? Like this time of the year?
Oh, yes. It's beautiful. And
Wonderful. Here, go ahead.
where are you at?
San Diego, California.
Beautiful.
Yes. In an A?
I'm in Oregon.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So Ane, how about you give us a brief overview of what happened on the first call, which you gave us this beautiful gift, 40-minute gift of this amazing meditation. And then I had asked you to, make it so that people can start practicing step by step. Last week, we went through step number 1, and today we're going to go through step number 2. Can you do maybe a minute-to-minute summary of the entire thing, and then step 1 that we went over last week, and then what you're going to teach this today, this step number 2 on how to be in the prime seat of your life.
Yeah, sure. So this is a 10-step series. We based it off the very first session that we did, where there was a meditation. People are welcome to view that on Daily Freedom School on Facebook. This meditation takes us back into what we talk about here, the premium seat. And in very short, in most cases, people identify who they are with thoughts, feelings, images, relationships, sensations, and such, plus the fact of being aware. What we do here is, with this meditation, we realize that what's essential actually to us is the fact of being aware. So we then go back into this restful place where we realize I have never suffered. And now I can choose to suffer if I wish, which in most cases, we choose to remain in the premium seat when we discover this. So then we had a next session. We were talking about how to remain in this place when we feel triggered during our day-to-day lives, when we become anxious. And today, I just want to explain a little bit more about what non-duality is, because this word comes up a lot. And so we can all be on the same page as we go through the next sessions. It's the word non-duality. Sometimes also we can call it self-inquiry. Self-inquiry would be like the practical application. Like, this is what we're about to do now. We're going to self-inquire into what reality is and what we really are. The great question of who am I? And the benefits of self-inquiring into this question is that it changes our experience of life. It's an experiential thing. People can have better businesses, better relationships, a feeling of ease at all times, better communication. It comes into your social life. Every aspect of your life seems to change for the greater when we delve into this question. Non-duality refers to not to. So again, by watching the meditation, we split ourselves from the body and the mind and recognize through, these sessions and self-inquiring that there was never two. I was never a body in a body limited, and one day will die and I'm here to suffer. We realize we're going back into the premium seat we start experiencing this oneness that's becoming so popular now, this mainstream word called oneness, and we're all one. So yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for that recap and explanation of non-duality. I get it now. I get it now. I was one of the people from last week that I thought, you know what, can you explain what non-duality is? So it's that it's the perspective or the opinion that there was never a separation.
Exactly. And I'll use another analogy that people can use if the people who aren't here today, and this will follow on from our previous lesson we did last week. Not to. So here's a beautiful analogy that I learned. When we think of the space in the room where we're sitting right now, I might say, in my experience, and you should take it for your own, this is 10 meters by 8 meters. You know, that is the space. And this space, you know, once the space is gone, or before a building was built, like the building where you are now, your house. Before the building was built, there was just space. And then there came a building. And now there's this building, but one day the building might be destroyed. It might, you know, and then there is just, again, this space. So we can take that for the experience of seeming to incarnate into a body, you know. It seems like, in most cases, if we haven't explored this path of non-duality or self-inquiry, that we seem finite, like we seem limited. It's like the world also seems so physical. But what we come to realize with this is that actually there's only the premium seat and this infinite awareness. And it just appears that the body is there. But again, you know, we experience that we're not that. So that means, you know, when we die, it's like, where do we go? Where do I go? I've always been, you know. So,
Oh, that feels so good to hear.
yeah, no fear.
I love that analogy. Okay, of the house or the physical body, the space is always there.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there was always, just imagine the world before any building was built. There was just space. There's just this open, empty, infinite awareness. And then we build the buildings and they seem to share the limitations of the building. So we seem to, if we identify with our bodies, share the limitations of the body. But we can actually do this work, which takes courage. And it can be very fearful too, to actually hear, oh my God, I'm not a body. What are you talking about? It seems very fearful. Like, how am I going to live in the world? There's just this, it may some trigger some fear. But we're doing this work very slowly and gently. So, yeah. I have a question from someone who didn't join. So I'm going to share this question, which followed from last week's session. Let me just get that up. So I'll keep it anonymous, but the person asked, I have been confused about the teachings, and that's perfectly fine and normal. It seemed like you were saying that nothing matters because nothing exists. But what I got from listening is that it seems that if we step back to see things from a non-dual perspective, in order to focus on what we want, and then this eliminates the anxiety. And so I'll talk a little bit about this because it may help some to deeper even understand these teachings. and apply it in your own life and take it for your own experience. So I'll take the first part of this. It said, it seems like nothing matters because nothing exists. Well, let's think about that for a minute, because there is something here. You know, there is something, but the question is, what is it that's here? And if we go back to the meditation, we find that, you know, we were thinking about reality and that it's this way, but we're actually finding that reality, when we go within, is something different. So it's more of a question. It's not like denying that there is experiencing happening here. It's just we're shifting from, you know, in our experience of what that is, and freeing ourselves from suffering. So yes, it's not saying that nothing exists. You know, no object exists. There are. We're going to a place where things start crumbling.
Mm.
Yeah. So, you know, everything that most people have previously invested their identity in seems to crumble away. And here we're going to slowly, apparently, realize that there is no solidity to this world, you know. So
Yeah, and just like that, anxiety can melt away, can let go, can disappear. And this is one of the promises of these sessions, is anxiety relief, release, delete, disappear, by going within, getting in touch with awareness, practicing awareness, and then playing the game. I call it a game because I like playing games, of being on the premium seat. Like, so can you, for the folks watching this for the first time, can you teach a little bit about the premium seat analogy?
Okay, so the premium seat analogy, I'll go over that again, is when you're watching a movie, we pretend that we're in a cinema, and there's the screen, and then there's you, the character, sitting in the middle row of the cinema. And this character represents what we, in most cases, think of ourselves to be, which is, you know, a body. And we have thoughts, and we have feelings and relationships. And, you know, the character goes and sits like you'd go into the cinema. But then we also make a distinction of the premium seat. This premium seat is the awareness, because let's do it again now. Close your eyes and think. Okay, if I think of myself as a person, I can think thoughts. Yes, I have thoughts. I have feelings. I experience sensations that's connected to my, you know, my body. I have relationships. I think of certain images that come up in my mind. And I'm aware. So it's all these things plus awareness. But the only thing in our lives, and take it for your own experience now, the only thing that is consistent and stable and always there, no matter what, is the fact of being aware. One cannot have any experience without awareness. And so this becomes the premium seat, the essential element of our life. And during these sessions, with the help of analogies and poetry and beautiful gurus that have left us and kept this information, we do mind training. This is training the mind to be more in this premium seat. Now, this premium seat we call infinite awareness. We call it I. It's the essential part. If you've been listening to this for 10 minutes, what is this I? I mean, you feel like And again, take this for your own experience. You feel like something is here, and you feel like you are the same. There's something here that is the same. We give that the name I. And this I that we're referring to is not in any way, shape, or form connected with a body or a mind. This I is infinite. Just like the space of the world before any buildings were built. It's just the space. And within this space, buildings may be built. On the screen of your life, in your movie, you might be in a relationship with someone, and then that relationship goes. You know, you might have a car, and then someone crashes and you lose your car. But everything is made out of, every experience in our life is made out of this awareness. We can't have any experience without this awareness. And gradually, this awareness becomes our identity. So another thing I wanted to expand on tonight that I said we would talk about a little bit last week is goals. One thing I see people struggling with a lot is expectations and goals. And this seems to remove, again, they seem to become attached again to the person in the middle row. Goals, desire, this is all seem to be attached to that person in the middle row and attached to the foreground, the movie screen. We think, okay, if I know what's best for me and I have goals and these expectations, the character in the middle row, then I can get this stuff on the screen of my life. I could experience a better life. I could have this partner appear in my screen in the movie of my life. But really, we're going to question this. Here we question, really? Is it so? What is this? You know? So here we go into the next stage of expectations and goals. I've got a little lesson here that we can practice. It's going to take about 2 minutes, but first I'll just read the content. This content is inspired and taken from A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles is also known as mind training or non-dual psychology. And so if you do decide to have further sessions with Fernando and I, A Course in Miracles might pop up a lot. I found it very inspiring along my journey. So here we go. We only have a few minutes left. I think we can do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this part is called I do not know what anything is for. And so we return here to the state of a child. You know, there's that famous saying, like, the sage is childlike. And so, you know, what we really are is this childlike innocence, you know, infinite awareness, or being in the premium seat. It's like being this innocent child, seeing the world with wonder. But, you know, you can also be this innocent child seeing the world of wonder as a CEO and, you know, or a success, or a mother, or a great employee. So yeah, it's the same for every situation or whatever role you're playing in your life. So let's explore this. I don't know what anything is for. Purpose is meaning. This idea explains why nothing you see means anything. You do not know what it is for. Therefore, it is meaningless to you. Everything is for your own best interest. That is what it is for. That's its purpose. That is what it means. It is in recognizing this that your goals become unified. It is in recognizing this that what you see is given meaning. You perceive the world and everything in it as meaningful in terms of ego goals. These goals have nothing to do with your own best interest, because the ego is not you. This false identification makes you incapable of understanding what anything is for. As a result, you are bound to misuse it. When you believe this, you will try to withdraw the goals you have assigned to the world instead of attempting to reinforce them. Another way of describing the goals you now perceive is to say that they are all concerned with personal interests. Here we would say the personal interests of the person sitting in the middle row, who's very attached to their identity and what the screen looks like, what the movie looks like in their life before they started exploring, non-dual teachings or this concept of the premium seat. And since you have no personal interests, truly, your goals are really concerned with nothing. In cherishing them, therefore, you have no goals at all, and thus you do not know what anything is for. Before you can make any sense out of this, one more thought is necessary. At the most superficial levels, you do not recognize purpose, yet purpose cannot be understood at these levels. For example, you do understand that a telephone is for the purpose of talking to someone who's not physically in your immediate vicinity. What you may not understand is what you want to reach him or her for. And it is this that makes your contact with him or her meaningful or not. It's crucial to your learning to be willing to give up the goals you have established for everything. The recognition that they are meaningless, rather than good or bad, is the only way to accomplish this. And so again, I would say here, duality is this world, this pendulum swing of good and bad, hot and cold, the pursuit of pleasure, the avoidance of pain. And we can't get to the premium seat if we are not willing to recognize that the goals we may currently have, or the meaning that we give to certain objects and people and things of this world, that they might be meaningless. And that we are willing to go through this journey to let the meaning be revealed to us during these sessions. So the idea for this lesson is a step in this direction. So
Wow.
now we're going to do...
Thank you. But please continue.
2 more minutes. We're going to do an activity together and that will wrap it up. Yeah. So let's practice. I don't know what anything is for. So if you're watching this video later, you can join at any time you see this. For the rest of the week, until we see each other again, keep this in mind. You can do this activity, I suggest, and it is suggested, up to 6 times a day, no more, for up to 2 minutes, for 2 minutes. So here we go. Begin with a slow repetition of the idea. So the idea is, I do not know what anything is for. So you can say that just in your mind. I do not know what anything is for. Now, followed by looking around you and letting your glance rest on whatever catches your eye, near or far, important or unimportant, human or non-human. With your eyes resting on each subject that you so select, you say, for example, I'm going to do it where I am now. I do not know what this painting is for. And I keep my gaze on the painting for the duration of me saying this to myself, or now verbally, but in my mind. And then my eye falls on this thing and I go, I do not know what this vacuum cleaner is for. And I look this way and I say, I don't know what this microwave is for. I do not know what this cat scratching pad is for. I do not know what the guitar is for. So say this quite slowly without shifting your eyes from the subject until you have completed the statement about it, and then move on to the next subject and apply the idea as before. And yeah, we will, practice this. It doesn't have to make sense right now. And we're just going to notice what happens during our week and just explore this idea, be more interested in getting to know, what is this place? What's going on here? And we'll meet back again next week and share stories about what happened and maybe some insights that we got.
Thank you, Anae. Wow. I was having all kinds of bodily experiences as saying, I do not know what this is for, looking at my computer, looking at the tier, looking at the glass. I had things happening in my body that, if I put words to it, it's generalizing, distorting, and deleting it, but things are happening. So thank you.
Yeah. People pay a lot for very expensive drugs to feel this happy, but here we're doing it naturally, consciously, and free. You can join these sessions and what happens is absolutely incredible,
Yes. Wow. Thank you. I'm looking forward to next week where we'll keep working on goals and then purpose. You talked a little bit about purpose and that the idea of going from goals to purpose. If I understood it, I think that might be where this is heading. Is okay.
Yeah,
Is
sounds
that
good.
where it's heading, like towards
Mm.
purpose, letting go of goals and heading towards purpose?
Yeah, true purpose.
True purpose. Awesome. Thank you, Anae,
All right.
so much. Thank you. Let me see if anyone is here. I hit the non-video participants. If there's anyone here in the room, thank you so much for coming to the Zoom with us. For anyone watching the replay, if you have questions, comments, please comment below. Place your questions below and we'll do our best to answer them next week. If you want to be part of the Zoom, there'll be a link below as well. If you want to inquire about working with Anae privately or working with Fernando, myself, or the both of us, there'll be a link for that too. And any final words, Anae?
Try your best to remain in the premium seat, and if not, come and join us next week.
Thank you so much, Anae. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.